he is accusing the federal prosecutors of making edits to the Cassie video, which we've all seen, the CNN Cassie video, making edits that, in his words, make him look more dangerous than he is. And what he's alleging is that the prosecutors are doing this so the judge will deny him bail, as the judge has done twice already.
So let's stop for just a second.
Okay, so I need to address this. The first thing I want to tackle, there's two things I want to say in this video in response to what you just saw. What Sean P. Diddy Combs is doing is trying to preserve his brand and trying to preserve his business to the best that he can. And I actually understand that. He wants to be able to continue to provide for his family. He wants to be able to have his children have a legacy and all of those things. But here's the problem. He should have thought about that before kicking, punching, shoving, and dragging Cassie across the ground. If you're going to accuse prosecutors of editing a video for the judge to make you look dangerous, then you need to take accountability that the thing that actually made you look dangerous was your foot hitting her face while she was lying on the ground. The thing that made you look dangerous was her running in fear, trying to get away from you. The thing that made you look dangerous had nothing to do with editing and had everything to do with you punching and pushing her and dragging her back to the room on the ground. That is what made you look dangerous. Now, had you accused prosecutors of completely making up a video using AI when you had not done those things, and they made a video make it like you had done those things, that would be one thing. But you did those things. There is nothing the prosecutors could do from an editing standpoint to make you look dangerous. Your actions made you look dangerous, and this is the inability to take accountability for that fact and trying to escape that accountability. And it is inappropriate. And speaking of accountability, I also have this clip.
Somebody wants Sean Puffy Combs completely destroyed. And I think I know who it is. I believe it is Diageo. I believe it is the British-based liquor company that Puffy was doing business with. They're one of the biggest liquor companies in the world. They market and sell some of the most popular brands of liquor, including Ciroc. And Diddy had an agreement with them where they would help him market his De Leon tequila brand. And Diddy took issue with Diageo because they had described the De Leon tequila liquor, Puffy's brand. They described it to their customer base as if it was an inner city, urban, quote unquote, ghetto, hip hop type of liquor. Puffy accused Diageo of racial discrimination in advertising and marketing. Diageo and Puff settled out of court in January 2024. Puffy's homes are raided in March. There's no way you're going to convince me that a company that powerful, Diageo operates in 180 of 194 countries in the world. They operate in 180 out of 194 countries in the world. You are not going to convince me that 1 + 1 does not equal 2. There is no way they were forced to settle with Puffy in January, and less than 2 months later, his homes are raided.
So Dr. Johnson is saying that the infamous they are coming after P. Diddy because he was suing the liquor company. And I want to address this because I think it's really, really important. And by the way, it might actually be true. It might be true that the liquor company are the ones who led authorities to investigate what Sean P. Diddy Combs was doing in his home. It might have been the liquor companies that tipped them off that if they do a raid, they will find things. But that still doesn't mean that Diddy is not accountable because he actually had done them. It is inappropriate. It is disingenuous. It is misleading to think that he's being targeted just because he was a prominent black man who was about to make all of this money and take on the liquor companies. He did something wrong, allegedly. Enough evidence to indict him and hold him in jail ahead of his trial. So that's just a smokescreen. It's a distraction. Dr. Johnson is creating a distraction. It might be true that the liquor company are the ones who told the investigators what to go look for and where to look. Might be true. But the fact that they found it is evidence that he did things that he shouldn't have been doing. So it doesn't matter who pointed where they should find it. It doesn't matter who led to the investigation. We need to focus on the action, and we need to hold people accountable when they do these things wrong. What he did is criminal. The video of him perpetrating domestic violence on his then girlfriend Cassie was wrong. And the other alleged crimes associated with these freak-offs is wrong. And I hear people all the time falling for these distractions. Someone said that there's nothing wrong with being a freak. He had 100 bottles of baby oil. There's nothing wrong with having high quantities of baby oil. Well, then you mustn't have read the indictment, because what they actually say they found was drug-laced baby oil. That's the problem. You're right, there's nothing wrong with having high quantities of baby oil, but there is something wrong with lacing that baby oil with drugs and then using those drugs to subdue people so that they can fulfill your sexual fantasies against their will and or knowledge. That's the indictment. So it really bugs me when I see people with large followings who speak with levels of confidence and self-assuredness because they sound believable, but it's just a distraction. The real wrong here is what has been accused of Sean P. Diddy Combs. I could care less who are the ones who told the investigators what to go look for. Like, if you told investigators to go look in Elliott's backyard for 10 dead bodies, you're not gonna find them because I haven't killed or buried 10 dead bodies. The fact that they're finding evidence, that's the problem. Don't be distracted by how it was initiated. Hold him accountable for the stuff he did wrong. This is the end of Diddy and his brand, as it should be. Just the video with Cassie alone. I keep saying allegedly because he hasn't been convicted of anything, but I saw what happened on that video. I don't care how they edited it. Your foot hit her face. You dragged her across the ground. She was running from you in fear. You need to be held accountable. And sure, the liquor brands were about to lose a lot of money to this growing billionaire, and they might have asked the authorities to investigate, but the fact that they found stuff means you're still the responsible party and need to be held accountable. That's what this is about.